Hi, my name is Billy Flowers, and welcome to my channel where I talk about velocity banking and how we can use this strategy to massively pay off debt. And as always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. So, in today's scenario, we're going to be talking about a woman. She works in the medical field, and she has some credit card debt that she needs to pay off. So we're gonna look and see if we can help her out in this. So of course we're gonna start with her four key numbers. She has an income of $4,675. Her expenses are at $3,957.85. She has a debt of $14,323.47, and she has a cash flow. She has a cash flow, the most important number, of $717.50. Now, as you can see down here, she has three credit cards. She has an American Express card with a $6,151.17 monthly payment. She has an American Express card here for $6,151.17. It has a 26.7% interest rate at a $190.69 monthly payment. Capital One credit card for $4,744.23, 21.3% interest rate at $147.07 monthly payment. And finally, there's a Visa card for $3,428.07 with a 24.5% interest rate, and it has a $106.27 monthly payment. Now down here, I've broken down her expenses. She has rent at $1,350. She has car insurance at $168 per month, and the rest of the bills, all the rest of the bills that she can pay, that she has, all the rest of her expenses are at $1,278.67. Now, since she doesn't have a debt tool like a line of credit, we're going to be using a credit card. We're going to be using a credit card at a time as a debt tool. So we're going to be starting off with the Capital One credit card, and when you work with credit cards, you're going to have to keep money that you keep in cash, and then the rest of your income is going to go on to the credit card. So right now, if what she has to keep in cash is $1,962. Let me go over here. $1,962.03. And then, of course, if she starts dumping all of her income into the credit card, what is that going to get rid of? It's going to get rid of this monthly payment, right? So now she only has to keep $1,814.96 in cash. And what's going to go on a credit card is going to jump from $19.95.82. That monthly payment is going to get added to the total that's going to go on the credit card, and it's going to raise that total up to $2,142.89. And then, of course, we got this most important number over here, this cash flow. So what's going to happen? We're going to get some more cash flow, right? So now her cash flow is going to go up that monthly payment as well. And now she's going to have $864.22 to work with when she tackles this first credit card. So let's see how this is going to work. So she has the month one, she has the balance of $4,744.23. And now she's going to take the income that's left over besides the cash, which she's going to keep in the bank. that 21.42 and 89 cents is going to go into the card, lowering that balance down to $2,601.34. Now she's going to have the rest of the bills, these expenses down here, is going to come back out of the card, raising that balance up to $3,880.01. $84.21 is going to be the interest. Of course, I took it off of this high balance here. It's going to raise that balance up to $3,964.22 at the end of month one. Month two, we're going to repeat the same process. We're going to have the income going in, the expenses coming out, the interest charge here, $70.37, raising that balance up to $3,170.37 at the end of month two. Month three, rinse and repeat. Income in, expenses out, interest charge, $23.62 and 42 cents is the balance at the end of month three. Month four, income in, expenses out, interest charge, $1,540 and 13 cents is the balance at the end of month four. Now, obviously, I put the same number twice here, so this should actually be when you come back. It's going to be magic, and this is no longer going to be here, right? You back? Yeah. So, yes, of course, I forgot to make that small mistake there, but all right. So at the end of month four, we're at $1,540.13. This is lower than the income she's putting in, so it's flip time. So on the board, I'm going to have the expenses come out first and then the income going in second, just so we can see the credit card going down to zero. Less math, less room for errors, but you're still going to pay the bills, this credit card exactly the same. This is just for visual purposes. So in month five, we're going to have the expenses come out first, raising that balance up to $28.18 and 80 cents. Then we're going to have the income going in at $21.42 and 89 cents, lowering that balance down to $675.91. $27.34 is the interest, raising that balance up just a little bit to $703.25 at the end of month five. Month six, look at that. We got our expenses coming out, right? Raising that balance up to $1,981.92. That's lower than what she's been putting in. You're going to put in that exact amount, zero this out. 6 months, we're done with Capital One. Capital One is done. So we got one credit card that's free and clear. So what are we going to do now? Well, we're just going to tackle the next credit card. And which one are we going to do now? We're going to capture this $190 up here. So we're going to get rid of American Express, So when we do that, we're going to come back over here. And now, this is what we were keeping in cash before. And now we're going to minus $190.69 from that. And now what she has to keep in cash is $1,624.27. And then now what she's going to put on the credit card is going to go up that $190. And now she's going to put $2,333.58 onto the card. And then what's going to happen? She's going to get some more cash flow, right? So that $190.69 is going to get added to her cash flow. Now she's over that sweet $1,000, $1,054.91. So now she's gonna go on this second credit card, this American Express. We're gonna start with the balance Obviously, this balance is going to be a little lower after 6 months, but I'm just going to start with what we originally had up here, just to show you, even with that, you're going to be paying this off pretty quick. So in month one, we're going to have that the 23.33 and 58 cents of income going into the card, lowering that balance down to $3,817.59. Then the expense is going to come out. $5,096.26 is the balance. Then they're going to get charged $136.86 in interest, raising that balance up to $5,233.12 at the end of month one. Month two, rinse and repeat. Income in, expenses out, interest charge. $4,294.65 is the balance at the end of month two. Month three, income in, expenses out, interest charge. There's the balance, $3,335.30 at the end of month three. Month four, income in, expenses out, interest charge. Now you see the balance here. It's not lower than what she's been putting in, but it's so close that we're just going to already do the flip already. So we're not even going to worry about it. So now we're going to have the expenses come out first, and then the income going in second. And then this is the interest charge, the $52.39. $1,352.08 is the balance at the end of month five. Month six, we have the expenses coming out, income going in. $30.08 is the interest. $327.25 is the balance at the end of month six. Month seven, we got that income. Well, we have the expenses coming out, raising that balance up to $1,605.92. Obviously, that's lower than what she's been putting in. 7 months, another 7 months, done. American Express is done. Whew. All right, so we about to rinse and repeat. So now we got the smallest credit card, the Visa, that needs to be paid off. So we're going to capture this monthly payment here. So now what we have to keep in cash is going down to $1,518. And then what she's going to be putting on the credit card is going up to $24.39.85. And of course, we're going to get some more cash flow, right? It's going to raise that balance, that cash flow, up to $1,161.18. That's what she's going to be working with. So as you can see here, if you want to pause this video and see how long this took, but this last credit card only took 4 months to pay off. And obviously, she had extra money here. She had extra money after this credit card and then this one. So, and then of course this balance is going to be lower after how many months was this? This was 13 months. 11 months. So of course this balance is going to be lower starting here. So we're talking about 4 months, maybe less, but we're just going to say 4 months. This is done. So all of these credit cards are done. Capital One, Visa, American Express is done in 17 months. She paid off all these credit cards in 17 months. Now, of course, we want to see the interest costs, right? So add up all the interest, $928.34. How are we going to check the actual interest costs? Well, you're going to go on Google, type in $928.34 is what percent of $14,323.47. And what are we going to get? We're going to get, look at that right there, 6.48%. Whew, isn't that amazing? I mean, all these cards were over 20%. So even if, there's a miscalculation here, things happen in life, even if we added, another $300-400 to this, still been at 10%. One if we added up to 10% of this debt, so the interest would have been like 1,400 and over, like 1,400, $323. If this interest was that much, we would still be only at 10%, which is crazy, right? So 6.48% is the actual interest cost, give or take. But this looks a lot better than these 20s. Wouldn't you agree? So this is how this nurse working in the medical field. This is how she can pay off 3 credit cards of $14,000 in 17 months. This is crazy. This is why I love doing these scenarios on the board. It just gives you motivation when you actually see the numbers on the board, and all you have to do is just follow along. Of course, your numbers might fluctuate a bit, but this is just the baseline. This is just showing you that if you stick with it, if you stay disciplined, and you don't, you stick with your current lifestyle, and you don't go overboard, that this is the goal right here, or even beating this goal. I mean, she could have got a raise also in these 17 months, bonus checks or anything, any extra income. And it could have been less than 17 months, but this is what is possible with velocity banking. That's why I love making these videos and these scenarios for all of you. So I hope you found value in today's video, and I appreciate all your support, and I'm so thankful. And we made it to 100 subscribers. I want to thank all of you for all of your support, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. And like I always say, get that cash flow.